The film begins with a nuclear disaster that struck an island near Australia. This event caused many deaths and sparked political tensions between the United States and Australia. Ava is on a plane heading to that island. News reports suggest the American president dropped the bomb, and the situation is escalating. We learn the bomb killed over 500,000 people by causing neural paralysis. The Australian government has imposed a total media blackout and blocked journalists from entering. The plane lands and Ava moves to a certain level. We discover the passengers were volunteers recruited to bury the dead, and some are there hoping to find family members alive. Ava goes to the registration office and is told to surrender all electronic devices. She asks to join the body recovery unit in the south, but they tell her that area hasn't been reached yet. Ava starts crying, so the officer comforts her and assigns her to Unit 209. She mentions her specialty is massage therapy. Another officer tells her the volunteer work is to identify victims of the disaster and says if she wants to work she is welcome, otherwise she will be sent back. In a meeting, the officer says the radiation is real and some people have returned to life as zombies. On the bus, a soldier tells them if anyone sees someone moving, they should light a flare and stay away. The buses enter a smoke-filled city. Upon arrival, they separate and each goes to a house. They pull bodies into the street and photograph their faces to register them as victims before the bulldozer arrives. The woman with Ava cannot handle the sight and decides to leave. While Ava is sitting, she sees a man come out vomiting, followed by Clay who has a cigar in his mouth and looks relaxed. Ava decides to join his team. They enter a house and find an old man dead. The fish tank is moldy and all the fish died from the strong smell. Ava asks Clay why he isn't wearing a mask, and he jokes with her. They carry the man and go to another house where they find an old woman and pull her out. Clay loses his balance and falls. Ava sits on the ground, sees a photo, and thinks of her husband again. It is lunchtime, and one volunteer asks why they don't capture and study the zombies instead of killing them. Ava hears a woman screaming at a dead person, telling him to wake up, but he is gone. Ava finishes her work and enters a shop. She sees a baby bed and remembers her pregnancy tests that always came back negative. Her husband used to comfort her, saying it didn't matter and a baby would be welcome whenever it happened. Suddenly, she hears someone screaming and sees two people lighting flares. Two soldiers arrive and shoot inside the shop. Ava and Clay enter a house and find a car in good condition. Ava sees blood on the floor, follows it, and finds a zombie standing behind a cabinet looking at her. She is shocked and stares at his face, and he looks shocked and scared like her. They open the garage and light the flare. Then the soldiers come and kill him. Work ends in that sector. Religious figures pray over the bodies before they are buried in a large pit. Ava searches the records, then goes for a walk and looks at the sea, thinking of her husband again. Night falls and the base is heavily guarded. Ava is in her room mapping the route to where Mitch was lost. She packs her bags and tries to sneak out, avoiding everyone, but a female soldier sees her and hits her. The soldier says they don't need another American and sends her back inside. Ava goes to a volunteer party and finds Clay. She tells him she wants to find her husband because the zombie they found didn't look dead. Clay disagrees and gets upset. In the morning, they continue working and enter a dark house. Ava hears breathing. She approaches the door slowly, and a zombie jumps out at her, but it was just a dream. Ava wakes up and looks out the window at the rising smoke. She goes to work and they enter a garage where they find two motorcycles. Clay sits on one and finds it working. Ava continues searching and enters a place where people were celebrating before they died. Ava brings up the idea of saving her husband again. She shows Clay the map, and he laughs but eventually agrees to take her on the motorcycle and goes to find a helmet. Ava hears a grinding sound and sees a girl turned into a zombie. She approaches and shines a light on her face, but Clay enters and tells her to stay away from that thing. They hit the road and travel a long distance. They see a military jeep from afar and hide behind a car. Ava sees a zombie in the middle of the road walking toward them, but the soldiers shoot him down. Ava looks at the fallen zombie and imagines it is her husband. After passing the soldiers, they continue toward the center where the bomb exploded. The smoke is so thick you cannot see a meter ahead. They reach a gas station to find oxygen masks. When they find them, they hear a zombie approaching and quickly leave. They stop at a small restaurant to rest. Clay's shoulder is hurting, so Ava massages it and tells him she was a physical therapist. Mitch was working on a renewable energy project and came to Australia for a meeting before the disaster. Clay says he was a small contractor. Suddenly, they hear a sound and see a massive zombie with a broken leg approaching them. Clay holds a chair to defend himself, but a soldier shoots the zombie from behind. The soldier says the longer they live, the more aggressive they become. He asks why they are in a restricted area. Ava says she is looking for her husband, and Clay says he brought her there. The soldier separates them for questioning. He locks Ava in a room and questions Clay. Ava cries and thinks of her husband again. After 3 hours, the soldier, Riley, returns. He says Clay escaped while going to the bathroom. Riley says he will help Ava go south to find her husband, but warns her not to run away. Ava agrees and they drive to a house in the forest called Bluebird. He suggests they rest and continue tomorrow. At dinner, Riley talks about his father who was a soldier. Ava is scared and sees photos of his wife. Riley says his wife died while 8 months pregnant. Ava asks if she could still be alive, but he doesn't answer and smokes a cigarette. He tells her they will leave for the south soon, but he wants a favor. The scene moves to Ava in the room wearing Riley's wife's clothes and perfume, but she doesn't wear the ring. She hides a pair of scissors under the pillow. Riley enters wearing civilian clothes and plays music. They start dancing. Ava imagines Mitch, while Riley imagines his wife and touches Ava's stomach. Suddenly, Riley starts shouting because she isn't wearing the ring. He asks her to wear it and start over, but she refuses. He approaches her, and she hits him with a vase and runs. He follows her, so she locks herself in a room. She sees the body of his pregnant wife and is terrified. Riley begs her to open the door, saying his wife is not dead and will wake up because the baby is still alive. Ava escapes through the window and goes to the car but returns for the keys. She meets him on the stairs and flees to the garage. She hides and sees several zombies tied up. Riley was performing tests on them. Ava pretends to be his wife and speaks to him kindly to get away. She sees the car keys on his belt and speaks to him gently. He approaches and hugs her, saying everything was fine but she was the problem. Ava stabs him in the neck with a screwdriver, takes the keys and drives away. In the headlights, she sees Riley's wife standing as a zombie holding her stomach. Ava flees and sleeps, dreaming of her husband again. In the morning, she puts on her ring, changes clothes, takes an axe and walks on foot. A zombie attacks her. She loses the axe and hides in a flipped bus. She hits the zombie with a fire extinguisher until he dies. She cries but continues her journey. She finds a caravan and sleeps in it. She wakes up to a sound and finds a zombie digging a grave for his dead family. He seems conscious, so she helps him. She finds his wallet and sees his name. He stands in the grave waiting for her to end his suffering. Ava buries him with his family. In the morning, she reaches the resort where Mitch was. She finds his room and sees him dead by the bed. She holds his hand and sees his ring is missing. She realizes another woman was with him. She finds a dead woman in the shower and realizes Mitch cheated on her. She screams at his body. Then Clay enters and finds her broken. They go to the beach and she tells him their marriage failed because she couldn't have children and she cheated on him before he traveled. Clay tells her his wife won't let him see his daughter. They return to the resort, get drunk, and jump in the pool. A zombie appears and Ava beats him to death to release her anger. In the morning, she removes her ring and buries her husband. They put the body on a boat and set it on fire. On their way back, they see Riley's wife. Ava hears a baby crying. She finds a living baby and is very happy. Our movie ends here. If you liked it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in a new recap. Take care.